From WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's late edition News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, Anchors Lisa Sugar, and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's late edition for Tuesday, August 20th, 2013. I'm Lisa Sugart. Tonight, Crime Watch organizations from throughout the Hazleton area gathered together to fight crime. Plus, we were there as Congressman Lou Barletta hosted Academy Day at Dallas High School. Those details coming up. In sports, Beth Mensinger has highlights from tonight's matchup between two local favorites, the Iron Pigs and the Rail Riders. And meteorologist Joe Garbacek has some warmer temperatures and a blue moon in the forecast. But first, late edition's look at tonight's top stories. Well, if you have not seen the newest billboard on Route 61 near Gilberton, you may want to take a drive by. Late edition's Ann Gownley has the latest.
Traveling down Route 61 from Frackville to Shenandoah, known to many as the Gold Star, sits a billboard, and it reads, Gilberton Council, fire Kessler, even the Oath Keepers dumped him, and it was paid for by the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence. The billboard is placed right by the exit you would take to go to Gilberton. The Kessler they are referring to is Gilberton Chief of Police Mark Kessler, who nearly a month ago today was put on a 30-day unpaid suspension for videos he posted on YouTube where he used strong language and shot several rounds from different guns. The video has gone viral and has raised the eyebrows of several different organizations, including this coalition who paid for the billboard. We spoke with Chief Kessler this evening via phone, who says he noticed the billboard on his way to Gilberton. He tells us that he was shocked at first, then questioned why the coalition would pay for something like this.
I laughed. I find it comical, and I chuckled. So I just shook my head and laughed when I first saw it. That there's nothing special about me at all. I'm just one person that stood up and expressed my freedoms, expressed my First Amendment right, my Second Amendment right, together, and I guess that people didn't like that. Certain people didn't like it. Not really sure why they needed to do that, calling for the Borough Council to fire me when all I did was exercise my First Amendment and my Second Amendment rights. I broke no laws. I hurt no one.
Kessler says if the coalition wants to spend money on a billboard to call for his termination, then they have that right to do so as Americans.
Nothing I can do about it. It'd be different if there was some kind of, putting derogatory remarks around or posting them or something like that, But they have the right to express their freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and that's what they did. So I commend them on that. I commend them for whatever group it is for exercising their First Amendment rights, just like I expressed my First Amendment rights, and I don't agree with them. They don't have to agree with me, that's why we have, that's why we live in America.
Kessler even stopped for a photo op with the billboard, and soon he may not be the only one.
I asked for, if people want to come and get a picture by the sign, not on it, by it, with me, bring their firearm, bring their rifle, and we'll all stand together and get a photograph with Chief Kessler and the billboard that was paid for by only God knows who.
Gilberton Borough Council is scheduled to hold its regular monthly meeting this Thursday at 7 p.m., where council will decide whether to lift his suspension or terminate him. Kessler says he will be there with his attorney Joseph Nahas. As for the billboard, you can still see it while traveling through the area. For WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
The Federal Department of Education has approved this state's No Child Left Behind waiver request. The state DOE put in the request earlier this year. Now, former Education Secretary Ron Tomales had declined to apply for a waiver, but Acting Secretary of Education William Harner made it one of his first actions. No Child Left Behind led to the creation of state assessment exams in this state. They are known as the PSSAs. Now, how well districts do is measured in adequate yearly progress, or AYP, with all school students supposed to be 100% proficient in math and reading by next year. But everyone, including the federal government, has acknowledged that goal is unrealistic. In Pennsylvania, the PSSAs are being replaced by the Keystone exams. Harner was happy the waiver request had been granted. He said it would improve Pennsylvania education by making sure all students are ready for careers or college and by developing accountability standards by the state for all public schools. Roughly 30 states have been granted waivers from No Child Left Behind. An SUV crashed into a home in Fountain Springs near Ashland this morning. Police say a Saturn Vue was headed north on Route 61 when it went off the road and crashed into a house owned by David Culp. He was home and was hit by that SUV as he sat in his living room chair. Both Culp and the driver, who have not been identified, were taken to regional hospitals for treatment. Travelers Insurance is suing King's College's former human resources director, claiming she embezzled more than $57,000 before getting caught 2 years ago. Aaron Savitsky was fired from the post 2 years ago after school officials uncovered that theft. Travelers say Savitsky of Jackson Township padded her paychecks and took other unauthorized disbursements from college accounts. It says she took $57,400. The suit demands full reimbursement for the allegedly stolen money and for the $5,000 deductible that King's paid. While school officials uncovered the plot, it's not clear whether law enforcement was ever called. No charges have ever been filed against Savitsky. It appears no one wants to be Luzerne County's interim controller. As you know, Walter Griffith resigned that post 2 weeks ago. His term runs through the rest of the year. Two people had expressed interest in filling it, Carolee Medico-Olenjinsky and Karen Sepaherko, but now both say they're likely not interested. Medico-Olenjinsky was picked as the GOP's candidate to replace Griffith on the November ballot and says she'd rather start fresh in January if she wins the election. Sepaherko says she's frustrated with the party's decision. Office Senior Auditor Patricia Llewellyn has served as acting controller since Griffith's resignation. There was a home burglary in New Ringgold Monday. State police at Frackville say 2 revolvers, jewelry, and a 5,000-watt generator were stolen from a home on Pine Valley Road. The pistols were removed from the house, the generator from an outdoor shed. Police say it happened sometime between 1 and 7 p.m. Well, Pennsylvania's interstates are the 8th busiest in the nation. So says a study by the Federal Highway Administration. It compared data from 2011 and found drivers traveled 23.7 billion miles on Pennsylvania interstates. The study shows the Turnpike is the most heavily traveled with more than 4.3 billion miles traveled. Interstate 81 is second with 3.6 billion miles, while I-80 is number 3 with 3.3 billion. Overall, California's roads were the most traveled with 84.7 billion miles traveled. Texas was second. Florida came in third. Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey says the United States should suspend aid for the Egyptian military now ruling that country. He called the situation there disturbing and says that while he initially supported not making an immediate decision, he now says the military's actions in crushing rebellions last week warrant the suspension. Riots throughout Egypt the last few weeks have been staged by the Muslim Brotherhood, a group looking to make Egypt subject to Islamic Sharia law. The Brotherhood has also been blamed for murdering thousands of Coptic Christians and for setting hundreds of their churches on fire. The military has been hoping to return Egypt to a secular government as it had before the Arab Spring overthrew longtime leader Hosni Mubarak. Well, speaking of Egypt, Phil Doherty tells us the opposition group took a big hit today as the White House made a move on aid.
Police arrest the supreme leader of the Muslim Brotherhood. The group is behind protests that rock Cairo since the ousting of President Mohamed Morsi. More protests are expected, but it's not clear when. Meanwhile, the Obama administration is taking action against Egypt. It's put a temporary hold on some military aid. The White House left the door open to restore full funding if Egypt stops the bloodshed. There's another $1 billion at stake. It's money the U.S. gives Egypt annually, but those funds are under review. A special fundraiser is being planned for a 7-year-old boy with a tumor in his heart.
Late Edition's Ann Gownley has the details.
7-year-old Kyle Schultz lives at home with his parents and grandparents. Kyle currently has a tumor in his heart, and nurses at Bayada Pediatrics, along with Christ Lutheran Church in Hazleton, are holding a fundraiser to raise money to help buy medical equipment that Kyle needs on a daily basis. That equipment includes a bed with rails on it, a feeding chair, and a special needs stroller. The insurance company will not help pay for any of those items.
Kyle has what's considered Gorlin syndrome. He was born with this. At this time, he does have a tumor that is inoperable, located in his heart. He has since had a tumor removed that was on a muscle on his neck, and he has also been diagnosed with skin cancer, all related to this Gorlin syndrome that he was born with.
The fundraiser is called Breakfast with Kyle. It will be held at Applebee's in West Hazleton from until 10 a.m. this Saturday, August 24th. Tickets are $7 for adults and $4.50 for children. Pastor Wayne Loophole of Christ Lutheran Church in Hazleton was thrilled when the nurses came to him and asked him to help.
When Ruth broached the topic of doing a fundraiser for Kyle, we were very happy at Christ Lutheran Church to co-sponsor the event. And we've worked in terms of publicity and ticket making and selling and getting the word out. And Saturday we'll have a contingent of volunteers there to help serve between 8 and 10. And we'll also have tricky trays for sale for chancing off. And it should be a very nice event. And of course, Kyle will be there with us.
Past fundraisers have raised enough money to purchase Kyle an AED, which is an external defibrillator that will shock Kyle's heart back to a normal heart rate. Linker says she hopes enough money will be raised to help Kyle get more of this necessary equipment to help him with his daily needs.
We would like to thank everyone who's come out to the fundraisers before. We were able to purchase this equipment for him, and we hope to see everyone there this Saturday so we can help him out some more.
Again, Breakfast with Kyle will be held at Applebee's in West Hazleton from 8 until 10 a.m. this Saturday, August 24th. Tickets are $7 for adults and $4.50 for children. To purchase tickets in advance, you may call Christ Lutheran Church at 454-3542 or Bayada Pediatrics at 459-0222. In Hazleton, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thanks, Ann. Hope they have a huge turnout on Saturday. Well, as we get closer to the opening of school, some doctors are looking at what kids carry in their backpacks, and they might cause injuries. INN's Carl Azus has more.
Often, everything a child needs at school can be found in one place, on their back. From books and notebooks to pencils and other school supplies, it all gets toted around in a backpack. But all that stuff can really add up in weight, says Dr. David Marshall, Medical Director of Sports Medicine at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
We're starting to see more and more back pain complaints in the doctors in the sports medicine offices, and the question is there a correlation between backpacks and back pain?
Marshall is demonstrating how he advises his own daughter to properly wear hers.
The way she has adjusted out, it's way too low. The weight of the backpack should never be any lower than the waistline, so the straps need to be adjusted so the backpack fits high up on her shoulders. The shoulder straps need to be 2 of them, not just 1, and also they need to be wide and padded.
He recommends the use of an abdominal strap.
That will also help redistribute the load evenly across the child's back and not have the effect of 10 pounds pulling back on their shoulders then.
Experts recommend these bags not weigh more than about 10 to 15% of the student's body weight, also so that the child does not fall or bump into another student. If that's not feasible, you may want to purchase a rolling backpack. I'm Carl Azus.
And some wedding photographers have been experimenting with drones for romantic videos. Phil Doherty shows us the procedure is not perfected.
Bride and groom hit by a remote-controlled drone during a wedding shoot. The wedding photographer used a quadcopter equipped with a camera to get a unique flyover. It turned out, yes, it was unique. Didn't really quite go over. Clocked him right in the head there. Kind of killed the romantic mood. The groom was banged up a little bit. He's okay. No serious injuries reported there.
Very interesting, very interesting. And finally tonight, a traveler's note: you might want to avoid Pennsylvania Avenue in downtown Wilkes-Barre all this week. It is being paved between Market and North Streets. You can expect delays. The project is part of a $388,000 package of improvements to 4 city streets. Others slated to be completed are South Sherman Street from Amber Lane to Northampton, the intersection of Darling Street and Courtright Avenue. Lane closures will be necessary at times. They're all expected to be done by the end of September. So please be aware of those travel delays. And that's a look at tonight's top stories. Time now for our first look at the forecast. Meteorologist Joe Garbaczyk is outdoors on this lovely evening. Joe?
Well, thank you very much, Lisa. Indeed, it is a lovely evening across all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Winds are relatively light. It definitely is very mild. No precipitation to deal with. And we have clear skies out here in the backyard. That's the good news, because as I speak, we officially have a full moon. And this time of year, it's what's known as a blue moon. And there you can see it on your screen as we zoom in closer to that full moon. It officially was full around 9:26 p.m. this evening. It is known as a blue moon. You may be asking, why is it a blue moon? Because it doesn't look blue. Well, you're right. It is not blue. We'll talk what a blue moon is coming up next.
People have a very jaded opinion of contractors. At The Wire Guys, we completely turn that experience on its head. My electrician is going to show up and wear shoe covers. Be respectful. We are the cleanest contractors that you'll ever use. Before he even starts, he's going to give you a price in writing that he's going to stick to. I want them to be your superhero when they walk out that door. Call me. If we're late, you get paid.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available, or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, they featured Trish's Baked Fresh Daily Donuts, only 3 for $1. Have you tried one yet?
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You'll meet Tracy Earhart, a phys ed teacher who went through a lot of pain and a lot of different treatments, but now she's back in the game thanks to good chiropractic care. Her story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
As we showed you just before I came back indoors, officially we have a full moon out there on the horizon, and I'm surprised they didn't play some of that. You got 1961 from Pittsburgh as our LA Toronto bum ba bum ba dum ba dum bum ba bum ba bum ba bum bang bang blue moon. You know, it just gets you in the mood, if you will, and gets you in a happy mood. All right. Well, it is the blue moon officially, and there's really two reasons why it's called a blue moon. First, it can be the third full moon in a season of 4 full moons, or the second full moon in a single month. All of those, you can call it a blue moon, but blue moons are seldomly blue, but still very nice to look at, and we have those clear to mostly clear skies out there, which means you can clearly see the moon. Well, you can clearly see there's some green out here, but pretend it's not there, because again, that is just clutter from the radar beam. There's no precipitation falling throughout our viewing area whatsoever. It continues to remain dry. Our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, 66 degrees. Pressure coming in at 30.12 inches of mercury, and we have been dry since the midnight hour. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day. 81 and 62. That's fairly close to the averages for this time of year. 94 and 45, the record high and low. They still stand. 627, 55, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. So we woke up this morning with temperatures generally in the mid to upper 50s, lower 60s. Had some areas of fog as well. And daytime highs getting up into the 80s. Tomorrow's not going to be any exception. We're going to continue to see temperatures get up into the 80s. Shenandoah now coming in with 67 degrees, 69 now in Berwick, 68 in Bloomsburg, 69 in Monomoy City, and 68 degrees in Danville. Satellite and radar clear to mostly clear skies throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania. The green you see there is just clutter off of the radar sites from Binghamton as well as State College, those two radar sites, and clouds basically confined down toward the south and west, and it's looking like another splendid day as we head into tomorrow. And as we head into tomorrow night, looks nice, and then as we go into our Thursday, a front will come through, and that will trigger a shower or two around, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Again, I'm not expecting a whole lot going on across our region, but nevertheless, it's going to be pretty nice again as we go into tomorrow. It's going to be very warm. It's going to be humid. A very nice looking Wednesday as we go into the middle part of the week. Notice these low temperatures tonight, 50s to lower 60s, and daytime highs tomorrow getting up into the 80s. In fact, temperatures could be a little bit above where we should be for this time of year. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect over the next several days. In the 80s for tomorrow and Thursday, a front comes through, dropping temperatures in the 70s for Friday. Weekend looks pretty nice. Temperatures continuing, looking like they will stay in the 70s. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, a daily 285, the big 4, 7424. Quinto numbers looking like this, 82742, and a cash 5, 7, 10, 31, 37, and 40. Lisa.
Thank you, Joe. Still ahead, teaming up to fight crime. We'll have that story and more still to come on Late Edition.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Tamaqua, PA is a 3-generation family-owned and operated dealership entering their 33rd year of business and continues to uphold the family philosophy that every customer should be treated as part of the family. Stop in and let them show you how they honor these values. You'll meet a family member in every department, from finding your new car in sales to low interest rates and financing and extending your vehicle's life and service.
Give us the opportunity to show you. We're big enough to serve you, but small enough to know you.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
Make your dollars work even harder during the Lazy Boy Labor Day sale on now at Grand Central. Recliners starting at $3.99, sofas from only $6.99. Even Power Recline XR, the only rocker recliners with independent power adjust back and leg rest. All marked down so you can rest up. Hurry in for the best selection. Everybody shops Grand Central for the Lazy Boy Labor Day sale. Grand Central, making your house a home.
Welcome to Robert Stevens Face and Body, Hazelton's complete skincare center. Here, our licensed specialists will consult with you to discuss your skincare needs, rejuvenate you with our special facial treatments, and apply gentle, relaxing massages to melt your tension away, using all state-of-the-art technical treatments and superior skin products. So call today and let the transformation begin at Robert Stevens Face and Body, 788-7546.
The 2013 Schuylkill County Firefighters Convention and Parade is Saturday, August 24th, starting at 1 p.m. Hosted by the Citizens Fire Company No. 2 and the Monomoy City EMS. Join in the 150th anniversary of Monomoy City with celebrations all week leading up to the parade. WYLN will be recording the parade and watch for the rebroadcast in the coming weeks. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back. They are the eyes and ears of local communities, and it is with their help that local police departments can crack down on crime. And tonight, local Crime Watch organizations from throughout the area came together to do just that. Cooperation is key. That was the message Tuesday night as crime watches from throughout the greater Hazleton area gathered under one roof at the new Hazleton Integration Project building on 4th Street in Hazleton.
First of all, I need to expose them to the integration project. I need to have everybody understand that this is a way for us to come together. I need to break down the barriers between individual neighborhoods and neighborhood watches and turn it into an area-wide crime watch so we learn how to share information that's important to us.
Hazleton Police Chief Frank D'Andrea talking about the importance of the community and local police teaming up to fight crime.
It's also easier when we start to communicate for us to share ideas and figure out what am I doing right as the chief of police, what would the community like to see maybe done differently. I need their input to problem areas.
The chief was the featured speaker at this special gathering of several local Crime Watch organizations in and around the city of Hazleton. Dave Minnick, coordinator for the West Hazleton Neighborhood Crime Watch, believes in communities working together.
My beliefs are we don't have, crime has no boundaries. Our Crime Watch program shouldn't either. We're here today to help support and share ideas and try to get everybody on the same page and strengthen our neighborhoods to resist crime.
A nice crowd came out to share ideas and strategies for combating crime. Among those in attendance, local and state officials, including Hazleton Mayor Joe Iannuzzi.
I think the purpose of this is to get a concentrated effort of Crime Watch. They can have their own little neighborhoods that they take care of, but put them together, put them all on the same page, and get started communication between all these Crime Watch units. I think they're the greatest thing to help the police department. They're best for Hazleton, but when they're organized like this and we can get them to work together, it's going to be a big, big advantage for the police department.
Shirley Singer is a dedicated member of Crime Watch, and Ville-Marie Buddy and her husband are officers in the Northeast Hazleton Crime Watch group.
I hope there's more people that will come out to this organization and get involved, see what's going on.
Criminals don't have no boundaries. They don't have no boundaries set up. So they'll go from east to west, from north to south to do whatever they're going to do. And they don't realize that when you're in unison together with the crime watchers all together, they don't realize that they're going to get caught.
Chief D'Andrea and others hope that this is just the first of many meetings together.
I was going to 7 different Crime Watch meetings a month. This brings them all to one location. We come together, we share our ideas, and then we all learn from it. So what I'm hoping that everybody takes away, to include me, is this is a learning experience for this evening, and we're just going to continue to grow. And I think that when everybody starts to realize this, we'll all realize that this is a community that we're proud of, and we are going to want to be known as Hazletonians.
It's a positive thing for the crime watches that are yet to form to show that government and other municipalities are there to work with you towards a common goal.
I hope things change and it gets better instead of worse.
Again, Chief D'Andrea says many more meetings like this are planned for the future. When we come back, Beth is in with sports. She's talking baseball highlights. We'll have that and more still to come on Late Edition.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Here at Classic Floor Covering, we take pride in all our works of art. Take a look at a few. Classic Floor Covering. Who do you trust for your floor covering needs?
Hi, I'm Liz Tolan. I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WYLN 35 in Hazleton, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open-air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky trace, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Live, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the Major League Stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs are coming off their 8-2 win last night over the rival Rail Riders. Tonight's game is the finale of the 2 games played at Coca-Cola Park. Rehabbing right-handed pitcher John Pettibone gets the go-ahead for Lehigh Valley. Chase Whitley takes the mound for the Rail Riders. In the second, Pettibone pitching to Rail Rider first baseman Dan Johnson. Johnson makes contact, but Freddie Galvis here sprints from short and ends up flashing some leather with that catch in short left field. Bottom third, Cesar Hernandez will score on a ground rule double as Ronier Muselier tries to throw to third, and the ball will head out of the playing field. 1-0 Iron Pigs. Moving to the top of the 5th, J.R. Murphy on second for the Rail Riders and Muselier back to the plate. He will hit hard, single up the middle. Murphy will score. It is tied at 1. Still in the 5th, Alberto Gonzalez hits the liner to right field where Leandro Castro tries to fire the ball to third to get out Brent Lillibridge. Tyler Henson at third for the Pigs. He misses, and Lillibridge will score. Rail Riders take the 1-run lead again in the 5th inning. David Adams hits the single to left field. Tyson Gillies grabs the ball and throws the rope home. Stephen LaRude will get the tag down in time, and Gonzalez is out number 3. Bottom of the 5th, a bit of a delay in the game when home plate Jeff Cosney is hit in the throat with a foul ball. He was checked out by doctors and will be fine. Carlos Torres came in from third base to take Cosney's spot behind the plate, and that looks like it hurts. After the delay, some more great defensive plays. Gonzalez at short for the Rail Riders, bare hands it, and Gillies will be thrown out at first base. Makes it look easy. Moving to the 6th, Dan Johnson on first base, bringing the big guy Randy Ruiz to the plate. It's a high-flying ball to left for Ruiz. Johnson will score. It's 3-1 Rail Riders. The Iron Pigs needing a stop here. Muselier will single to Castro. It'll be another play at the plate, and Ruiz will come charging in. He will plow into LaRude, but the catcher does his job and holds on to the ball for out number 3 to retire the side. And like I said, Ruiz is a big dude, but that is out number 3. The Iron Pigs would not produce the runs they needed, and they will split the series with the Rail Riders losing 3-1. And it was a pretty special game tonight. The theme at Coca-Cola Park was Celebration of Life Night, where one lucky fan won a free funeral. Yes, a funeral. Fans had to submit an essay on why they deserved to win the unique prize, and more than 50 entered. The winner, Steve Paul, who was announced in the 6th inning, will receive a casket, free embalming or cremation, a hearse, a headstone, and a memorial service, adding up to about $10,000 in prize winnings. That is the biggest prize amount given out by the Iron Pigs. The 64-year-old Paul was recently diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. He said the prize was great because the disease has taken both a financial and emotional toll on his family. Stay tuned. Lisa Shugart is coming back next with your top story recap.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational, speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud. There's a difference between reading the Constitution and understanding it. Until around 5 years ago, attorney Joe Wolverton was a practicing constitutional attorney, and for the last 9 years, he's been a featured contributor to New American Magazine. He's a true national authority on the Constitution of the United States, and join me for this very special series with attorney Joe Wolverton on Storm Politics, only on WYLN TV.
Recapping tonight's top stories, if you have not seen the newest billboard on Route 61 near Gilberton, you may want to take a drive by. Late Edition's Ann Galney explains.
Traveling down Route 61 from Frackville to Shenandoah, known to many as the Gold Star, sits a billboard, and it reads Gilberton Council, Fire Kessler, even the Oath Keepers dumped him, and it was paid for by the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence. The billboard is placed right by the exit you would take to go to Gilberton. The Kessler they are referring to is Gilberton Chief of Police Mark Kessler, who nearly a month ago today was put on a 30-day unpaid suspension for videos he posted on YouTube where he used strong language and shot several rounds from different guns. The video has gone viral and has raised the eyebrows of several different organizations, including this coalition who paid for the billboard. We spoke with Chief Kessler this evening via phone, who says he noticed the billboard on his way to Gilberton. He tells us that he was shocked at first, then questioned why the coalition would pay for something like this.
I laughed. I find it comical, and I chuckled. So I just shook my head and laughed when I first saw it. That there's nothing special about me at all. I'm just one person that stood up and expressed my freedoms, expressed my First Amendment right, my Second Amendment right, together, and I guess that people didn't like that. Certain people didn't like it. Not really sure why they needed to do that, calling for the Borough Council to fire me when all I did was exercise my First Amendment and my Second Amendment rights. I broke no laws. I hurt no one.
Kessler says if the coalition wants to spend money on a billboard to call for his termination, then they have that right to do so as Americans.
Nothing I can do about it. It'd be different if there were some kind of, putting derogatory remarks around, or posting them, or something like that. But they have the right to express their freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and that's what they did. So I commend them on that. I commend them for whatever group it is for exercising their First Amendment rights, just like I expressed my First Amendment rights, and I don't agree with them. They don't have to agree with me, that's why we have, that's why we live in America.
Kessler even stopped for a photo op with the billboard, and soon he may not be the only one.
I asked for, if people want to come and get a picture by the sign, not on it, by it, with me, bring their firearm, bring their rifle, and we'll all stand together and get a photograph with Chief Kessler and the billboard that was paid for by only God knows who.
Gilberton Borough Council is scheduled to hold its regular monthly meeting this Thursday at 7 p.m., where council will decide whether to lift his suspension or terminate him. Kessler says he will be there with his attorney, Joseph Nahas. As for the billboard, you can still see it while traveling through the area. For WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thanks, Ann. The Federal Department of Education has approved this state's No Child Left Behind waiver request. The state DOE put in the request earlier this year. Former Education Secretary Ron Tamales had declined to apply for a waiver, but Acting Secretary of Education William Harner made it one of his first actions. No Child Left Behind led to the creation of state assessment exams. In this state, they're known as the PSSAs. How well districts do is measured in adequate yearly progress, or AYP, with all school students supposed to be 100% proficient in math and reading by next year. But everyone, including the federal government, has acknowledged that goal is unrealistic. In Pennsylvania, the PSSAs are being replaced by Keystone exams. Harner was happy the waiver request has been granted. He said it would improve Pennsylvania education by making sure all students are ready for careers or college, and by developing accountability standards by the state for all public schools. Roughly 30 states have been granted waivers from No Child Left Behind. An SUV crashed into a house in Fountain Springs near Ashland this morning. Police say a Saturn Vue was headed north on Route 61 when it went off the road and crashed into a house owned by David Culp. Culp was home and was hit by the SUV as he sat in his living room chair. Both Culp and the driver, who has not been identified, were taken to regional hospitals for treatment. Travelers Insurance is suing King's College's former Human Resources Director, claiming that she embezzled more than $57,000 before getting caught 2 years ago. Aaron Savitsky was fired from that post 2 years ago after school officials uncovered the theft. Travelers says Savitsky of Jackson Township padded her paychecks and took other unauthorized disbursements from college accounts. It says she took $57,400. The suit demands full reimbursement for the allegedly stolen money and for the $5,000 deductible that King's paid. While school officials uncovered the plot, it is not clear whether law enforcement was ever called. No charges have ever been filed against Savitsky. And that's a look at tonight's top story recaps. When we come back, L.A. Tyrone has details on Academy Day today. Plus, Beth is back in with the second half of sports.
And we have clear to mostly clear skies throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and you're able to check out that full moon, and this time of year is what's known as a blue moon. If you haven't checked it out after the news, go out and check it out because it is just beautiful out. It's beautiful outside right now, no rain to talk about. We still have another day of some very warm temperatures tomorrow, but then after that, a few changes. We'll talk about those changes. Stick around, Late Edition. We'll be right back.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Weatherwood is a privately owned 200-bed nursing and rehabilitation center. Nestled within the quiet town of Weatherly, PA, we offer our residents and their families tranquil and scenic views from just about anywhere in the building. We are located within minutes of Hazleton General Hospital as well as major metropolitan medical and trauma centers in the Lehigh Valley. Whispering Meadows is a 50-bed secured dementia unit within our facility. Whether you need short-term, long-term, or respite stay, call or stop by today for a tour.
Enjoy the great outdoors at the Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range's Trap, Skeet, and Sporting Clays course. No waiting and no lines. First time shooting? Whitetail Preserve employs certified instructors to help you get the most out of your experience. Hungry? The restaurant at Whitetail has a great menu to satisfy and offers catering for all occasions. Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, approximately 13 miles west of Hazleton and just 1 hour from Allentown, Reading, and the Delaware Water Gap. 118 Boulevard Road, just off the Rockland Road near Rockland. 384-2314. Off the Beaten Path is a half-hour program that showcases interesting and unique people, places, and things in Pennsylvania. Hosted by Jeff Bonomo, Brian Bromley, and Ken Cara, Off the Beaten Path is fast-paced, light-hearted, and sometimes even downright funny. Each show, we travel to many destinations in Pennsylvania, including restaurants, events, unique landmarks, and we talk with interesting people. So come with us off the beaten path.
Congressman Lou Barletta was at Dallas High School today for what his office calls Academy Day. L.A. Tyrone has more.
Academy Day is not a national holiday. It's what Barletta's office calls the sort of one-stop shop in which students who might be interested in attending any of the 5 major military academies can learn something about them.
Our congressional office has been holding Academy Days around different parts of the district, again, to bring young men and women who are interested in serving our country and going to one of the academies. So we bring all of the military school representatives here to one place. So it's really a buffet of options for individuals who are looking to serve in the military.
First, there's a film on what each does.
The U.S. Military Academy in West Point, the Naval Academy at Annapolis, the Air Force Academy at Colorado Springs, the Coast Guard Academy at New London, the Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point. These are America's service academies.
Then Barletta will talk about them, and he tries to answer any questions interested students may have. After that, students have to try their best to get in.
We play a role in an individual's selection in one of the military academies. Although the branch of the military makes the final decisions, we will hold interviews and talk to individuals about how to be prepared and put themselves in the best position so they could be selected by their preferred branch of the military. And they need to be the best of the best, obviously.
Barbara Jamelli Sefcik and her son Mitchell came up from Cunningham because he is interested, and there's a family history.
This past year, my sophomore year in high school, I decided I wanted to look into the military academies because I'm interested in serving my country, and because I have a lot of military history in my family.
My father is a World War II veteran, my brother is a veteran of the Army, and my husband was a veteran of the Navy. We'd like to learn more about all of the service academies, and we're particularly interested in the Naval Academy, but he's interested in serving his country no matter what, so we're going to evaluate all of them.
Now, if you missed this one, Barletta says there will be more.
To strategically hold them in different parts of our district. It was something that we started to again make it easier for individuals who want to serve in our military. So it seems to be well received by men and women and parents who appreciate the fact that we're bringing all of the military branches to one place so that their son or daughter could get a feel for what branch of the military they would like to serve in.
L.A. Tyrone, WILN's Late Edition.
Thanks, L.A. We wish all of those young men and women very best in serving our country. When we come back, Beth is in with the second round of sports, and Joe has more on the Blue Moon. Stay tuned.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Tamaqua, PA is a 3-generation family-owned and operated dealership entering their 33rd year of business and continues to uphold the family philosophy that every customer should be treated as part of the family. Stop in and let them show you how they honor these values. You'll meet a family member in every department, from finding your new car in sales to low interest rates and financing and extending your vehicle's life and service.
Give us the opportunity to show you. We're big enough to serve you, but small enough to know you.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazelton, serving the greater Hazelton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
Make your dollars work even harder during the Lazy Boy Labor Day sale on now at Grand Central. Recliners starting at $3.99, sofas from only $6.99. Even Power Recline XR, the only rocker recliners with independent power adjust back and leg rest. All marked down so you can rest up. Hurry in for the best selection. Everybody shops Grand Central for the Lazy Boy Labor Day sale. Grand Central, making your house a home.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazelton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
Tom, you can't be serious.
Hey, good morning, neighbor. Just thought I'd pay some bills and download some tunes.
You've got DSL at your house. Go do that there.
Yeah, but your cable high-speed internet is so much faster.
Lucky me.
Oh, by the way, your mom emailed you. Man, are you in trouble.
Service Electric high-speed internet, the best internet in the neighborhood.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Tim's going to explain to us what causes lower back pain, how you can avoid it, and if you are uncomfortable, what he can do to help you out. That's all coming up this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Join us.
Well, the winner is Mike Vick. Eagles coach Chip Kelly met with his quarterbacks today to tell them he decided who'd start, and he picked Vick, not Nick Foles. Vick has been great in the preseason, going 13 for 15 passing for 199 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He also has 2 rushes for 20 yards. Foles commented, quote, "The competitor in me, you always want to be the one on the field playing, but at the same time, I love Mike, and we've gone about it the right way. We've got a great friendship, and we pushed each other." Foles also said his preparation at QB will not change now that he is the backup. Cleveland Cavaliers' Dion Waiters' big party near Allentown last weekend has neighbors fuming. It was in Percy, what's called the Menlo Pool. Borough officials say they were duped into booking the private party, led to believe it would be a birthday party attended by about 100 people. Instead, residents say over 700 showed up for a wild party with lots of alcohol and suspected illegal drug use, a DJ, and 15 security guards. A Menlo lifeguard says he was pushed into the pool several times and saw patrons drinking liquor and smoking marijuana. He called it total chaos. 24 police officers from multiple jurisdictions broke it up at midnight. Waiters himself has not commented. Red Sox pitcher Ryan Dempster has been suspended 5 games and fined $5,000 for throwing at Alex Rodriguez and hitting him in Sunday night's game against the Yankees. His Red Sox have 2 games off in the next week, so Dempster is unlikely to miss a start. Dempster can appeal. Yankees manager Joe Girardi was fined for his argument with umpire Brian O'Nora. The Angels' Albert Pujols is done for the year. He'll miss the rest of the season because of an injured left foot. Pujols partially tore his left plantar fascia last month and only recently got his foot out of a walking boot. He hasn't played since July 26th. Pujols has career lows of 17 homers and 64 RBIs this year. He's hitting .258. Daisuke Matsuzaka is looking for a job. He was released by the Cleveland Indians. He spent the whole season at AAA Columbus, where he went 5 for 8 with a 3.92 ERA in 19 starts for the Clippers. He is now a free agent. The NFL will suspend Texans defensive end Antonio Smith for 1 regular season game and Houston's remaining 2 preseason games for yanking off the helmet of Miami Dolphins offensive lineman Richie Incognito and then swinging it
at his face. He will also be fined. It happened during the second quarter of Saturday's preseason game when Incognito was trying to block Smith. Incognito appeared to grab the face mask of Smith, who retaliated by ripping off Incognito's helmet and swinging it at him. And goaltender Henrik Lundqvist and the New York Rangers have begun discussions on a new contract. The 31-year-old has 1 year remaining on a 6-year, $41.25 million contract. Last season, he had a 24-16-3 record with a 2.05 goals against average and a .926 save percentage. Lundqvist says he wants to stay with the Rangers for the rest of his career. A couple of scores before we go to the weather. Yankees win both games of their day-night doubleheader. The Phillies fall to the Rockies. The Mets win 5-3 over the Braves. Pittsburgh is winning 2-0 in San Diego, and Boston is up 1-0 on the Giants. Both of those last two games are in the second inning. Stay tuned. Joe's coming back right after the break.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
WYLN, your first choice for locally produced shows like Chef Lou, Jentastic Sweets, Off the Beaten Path, The Storm, and more. Find out how you can stretch your advertising dollars and be a part of the WYLN TV lineup. Call 570-459-1869, extension 1302. WYLN, we're your local network.
Nothing to show you on our live 35 Skycast Doppler statewide. We are quiet, we are dry. This is just some clutter off of the radar site, but other than that, clear to mostly clear skies. Very nice out there tonight. 66 our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton. Pressure coming in at 30.12 inches of mercury, and again we have been dry since midnight, and I think we'll stay dry through tonight. And notice those winds very, very light, in fact practically non-existent. Temperature-wise, not looking bad across the Northeast. In fact, much of the nation not doing too bad now as I speak, with some pretty decent temperatures. But if you really want the heat, take a look at Las Vegas right now, where it's coming in with 102 degrees. And Phoenix, Arizona, boy, I'm telling you, they are just sizzling right now with temperatures in the mid to 100 range, with 107 degrees right now, to be exact. Closer to home, 68 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 62 degrees in Mount Pocono, 78 in Philadelphia, 69 in Williamsport, 61 in Selinsgrove, and 67 in State College. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, from Nanticoke through Wilkes-Barre, Kingston, and Lehman, air temperatures holding in the mid to upper 60s to near 70 degrees, and those winds continuing to be relatively light. Satellites and radar, all this is ground clutter, nothing falling at all. We continue to have clear to mostly clear skies, and it is looking very nice heading through tomorrow. And tomorrow night, maybe a few clouds can come into our area, but that's about it. As we go into our Thursday, could be looking at a shower or thunderstorm or two around. I'm not expecting anything significant, but a front will start to pass through, and that will cool things down a little bit in the atmosphere as we go into the daytime hours of our Friday. And as we head into this upcoming weekend, we'll start to see some cooler and less humid air approaching our area. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. Here is what we can expect over the next several days. We continue to be in the 80s as we go into tomorrow, and as we go into Thursday, a front comes through, and that will drop temperatures into the 70s for Friday. This upcoming weekend,
Here comes
and
the moon.
early next.
I heard the sign, here comes the sun, here comes the moon.
I tell you, I was like, I don't know what I
That
was
must have
hearing.
been someone up above speaking to us.
I tell you.
Why do
It's
they
you know-
call it a blue moon if it's not blue?
Well, like I told you, because usually
has a tint of
did
blue.
have
well, you know, it
tint,
does have
yeah.
a little bit of a tint. It usually is not officially blue, but usually if you have 2 full moons in 1 month, or actually if you have 3 within the actual season, it's called a blue moon.
Well, okay.
And there you do. Yeah, you know what? It does.
I still don't understand why the name, the connotation blue then. If they're not going by color, then I don't know. Don't get it. But whatever.
And that's why we're not meteorologists.
That's all. Happy blue moon to everybody. See you tomorrow. Good night.